The law itself. Even the law itself is not the end all be all. We are to be able to see beyond these human made things and be able to direct our attention past these things, depending on the situation or circumstance which calls for it. What Paul says in the scriptures is that he was once a Pharisee under the titles and laws of the time. He once used that power to persecute and cast people out, the very same people that he would later become. And he did this with the law and authority on his side. So he was given the technical right to do these things. One could say he was captured in the hysteria of the times. And the term he uses for this is righteousness. What the scriptures say, speaking from a later date, later in life, talking about righteousness, he says it comes by acts of faith, living through actions of faith, which means taking chances, having courage, even when you don't necessarily know or see the outcome. It's a practice. It's a skill, like anything, needs to be exercised. And by exercising this, it can lead one to wonderful things. Blissful states of mind, mythical dimensions, even, perhaps, this paradise promised land the Bible talks about. Who knows? Or it will just lead to a much smoother, much more succinct, much more in groove, unified experience of life, with as many people as possible on a similar wave, feeling good and producing things. But where people get it wrong is their understanding. Their understanding, their judgment, their understanding of the terminology, their ability to read and interpret the world around them, it's often misguided, misunderstood, and has missed the mark. So the question is, did you get it or did you miss it? When you see something out in the world, did you get it or did you miss it? When you hear a message, when someone communicates to you, did you get it or did you miss it? And so there are all these opportunities in a reading of not just the text, but the world around you. More importantly, in the reading of the world around you. And the question, the quality of life, the everything boils down to, did you get it or did you miss it? And what the scriptures tells us is that in order to get it, you have to be able to see beyond it. In this case, to be able to see beyond the laws, see beyond the righteousness, see beyond the temporary empowerment, see beyond this passing moment into a field that bears much greater fruit and produces much greater fruit, much more filling and sustaining, and that is what these texts try to direct your attention towards is an experience of life that offers a higher quality for as many people as possible. The more and more people able to read and understand and interpret the world around them, and the more and more people that can see past the thing that is right in front of them, distracting them. And when this happens, everything, it all goes up from here. So, by the word resurrection here, and these terms are just ways for understanding reality and how things change over time. So, resurrection was a term and a concept, and perhaps a philosophy discussed, thought about, and utilized during the time Jesus and Paul were active within the context of their location, their people, their traditions, etc. Although these terms can still serve a purpose here today, they seem to be, in some sense, immortal. They seem to be, in some sense, everlasting. What I mean is, these terms will always be a way to understand God, and understand reality, and understand the process of life and the way things change. However, with that being said, it can be interchangeable. It can be updated. It can be fit to this new sensibility, this new reality that we currently find ourselves in here today, which is unlike the times of Jesus and Paul. So you have to understand this about these writers of the scriptures. They were working with the current tools and terminology to bring forth a message that was more or less wanting to be expressed into the world. That is the good news the scriptures talk about, and what the writers were experiencing in a very living way. These are not just people making things up blindly or doing scholarly work. Yes, they were doing that. They were doing all of that, but also and had developed the skills and practices to bring this into life. And therefore, the scriptures serve as mirrors or windows into a bigger picture of things that contains value for anyone who works with them, so people can begin living the ways.